this morning. If you have questions for Coach Traylor, just use the raise hand function and wait for me to call on you. JJ, you can get us started.
Jeff, what were some of your biggest takeaways from this week's game?
Our defensive performance was, we were flying around, stopped the run real well, kept the ball in front of us in the secondary, and really proud of their performance. I'm really crushed they didn't get the shutout, technically, even though they did have one, but the kickoff team, our Night Stalkers gave up that play. Offensively, just, moved up and down the football field, self-inflicted wounds, in the red zone area. That hurt tremendously. Still over 550 yards of offense, 29 first downs, but you got to score more points. And special teams, whenever you give up a touchdown, that was tough. Didn't kick the ball very well towards the middle of the field, and didn't do a very good job getting off blocks and missed tackles on the kickoff team. And our field goal team, first time all year, we weren't very good. And those were some critical, plays in the game. So happy to get a win, but there's some things that were frustrating as well.
Jeff, what does it mean to get that first road win in the conference? I guess in 2 years. What does it mean to get that?
We're at 5. We're trying to get to 6.
Greg?
Jeff, when we talked after the game, you said you expected you'd see a really high percentage of successful plays and efficiency with a few costly mistakes. Did that kind of hold up on your review?
Yeah, I was one of the few times I was right. A lot of times you got to go back and watch the video to be right, but it's probably one of our most efficient games we've had all year as far as execution. The self-inflicted wounds were just so painful.
Yeah, so that was going to be my follow-up. How do you come away from that just in terms of being encouraged versus discouraged? Is it more positive to see that many plays you did the right thing, or are there more red flags you take away from why didn't that amount to finishing drives at a high rate?
No, I'd much rather execute very, very well and had to clean up a couple of things than I would not execute very well and just hit 5 big plays. Yeah, that sounds great, but it's not sustainable. You got to, especially against a great team like we're fixing to play this weekend.
You mentioned also last week the mental toughness that you wanted to see on the road for the team to succeed. Did you feel like that showed in a big way in this game?
More than ever. You were there, so you could feel our frustration. The harder we tried, the more we couldn't get out of our own way. But we just kept chopping. We just kept playing and stayed very, very strong. And the 4th and 1. When we got Will loose was a big call in the ball game, but then as soon as we got that, went up 21-0 on the next drive. You finally think, well, we got a 3-score lead, we're going to be okay, and we give up the touchdown immediately. So you had to be very mentally tough. It was a tough game, and in between the ears, it really was. If you were there, you felt it because you could feel the home crowd. It's senior day, you could feel the momentum going the other way. But we just kept chopping. I was really proud of our defense. I think the defense was really good, carried the day, and offensively, whenever you're out there that long, it helps your defense because we were on the field so long.
With that defensive effort, one of the things that you also highlighted last week was the physicality and the tackling. Did that deliver at the level that you wanted, or how did you review that looking back?
Oh, yeah. I think we only missed 4 tackles the entire ball game, which is one of our season lows. Very similar to how we tackled against Tulane. So that was exciting to see.
How has Will Henderson grown and developed as a player from last year to this year? What differences do you notice?
Oh, he just keeps getting better. He's very sound in his assignments. He's always been very gifted. He's a wonderful, wonderful human. Got a great mom and dad. Came from a great program. He's about the right stuff. Him and Brandon are very similar. You can always tell kids that come from great programs that just, it's a new world. Any program that can hold tough and keep holding people to a standard and teach young men that you don't always get what you want out of life. You got to keep stacking days. That all sounds like coach talk. You got to keep winning the day. Will's learned that, and really good young football player.
One of the key mistakes that you pointed to in the first half was the Robert Henry run that went for the minus 25 yards there. Is that a play that you have to address with him in the moment? What is the conversation like after that happens?
Robert knows. Robert's an extremely good running back. Sometimes with great backs, that happens occasionally. It was just one of those moments that he should have gone down. He knows it, but he was just fighting and fighting and fighting and just kept going the wrong way. There's nobody more upset about it than Robert.
What should we expect as far as your running back rotation and how the carries will be split going forward?
Robert Henry's our starting running back. I mean, so there's no question there, and Will's the second one, and Will's a really good second back.
I didn't see Robert Henry on the sidelines in the second half. Was he out there with you guys, or what happened in those moments?
I think he was getting evaluated to start off the second half, but yeah, he was out there.
JJ.
Jeff, what happened on the 2 missed field goals? Have you been able to pinpoint anything there?
The first one, he just pulled it a little bit left. The second one, there was a miscommunication as far as the snap count and kind of caught my kicker off guard, kind of caught the whole field goal team off guard. So that was unfortunate. That was a communication error.
You talked about how the defense carried the day. What does it mean for them to bounce back from such a rough performance the previous game?
Yeah, I just think it shows kind of the mental makeup of this team. They stay the course, and obviously, South Florida game was not anything they were very proud of at all, but they put their work back in and came out, had a much better plan, and they executed it better.
How would you evaluate the play of the offensive line this game?
Oh, I thought it was probably as good as we played all year. We're really banged up there, which everybody is right now, but really grateful for those guys playing through a lot of pain and tough injuries up front. And but they protected our quarterback, and we ran the ball well. Anytime you have over 500 yards of offense and your quarterback comes out of the game, pretty much clean, that's a heck of a day by the offensive line.
Right.
Jeff, what are the biggest differences that you see when you look at East Carolina, this year's team versus the team that you faced last year?
Probably the confidence at quarterback. They've got their guy. They're not rotating Blake. He is the guy. Actually, I'm sorry. His name's Hauser, I believe. His first name's – I don't know how to pronounce his first name, actually. I know he's number 4, and he's really good. And he was rotating last year. So I think that's the biggest difference, just the confidence they have in him and the wins he's put together. Since he's become the starting quarterback, their win-loss record's really gotten a lot better. I think he started the last 7 games of the year last year, something like that. They've always been great on defense. They're historically a really good football team. East Carolina is one of the most proud, rich, traditional programs in the entire country. Super fan base, great infrastructure, just a really well put together program for a long, long time.
You've gotten to face a lot of the top teams in the league at this point in the year, and I'm sure you've seen the rest of the group on film. What can you say about the overall quality of the American Conference this season?
Oh, it's deep, and it's really good. There's a lot of investments by a really bunch of great programs. Everybody's hustling to get to the top, and East Carolina's as good as any of them, as obviously their record shows, and beating a really good Memphis team. They've got a great football team. We're going to need all of our fans to show up. It's going to have to be loud. They've got a lot to play for. They're still playing for a championship berth. We're trying to get to a bowl game. Should be a really good game Saturday. We're going to have to really get after them to have a chance.
Is there just a talent difference across the board in the league compared to previous years, or what do you think has led to that balance and that success?
I just think in the G5 world, the teams that, when you're investing, you can just tell a lot of these guys are really investing. I mean, you look at the top of our league, those teams have historically been good, and they've really invested, and they've done a great job. They're well coached. They've got talent. They're deep, and so all of that. I don't ever think it's just like one thing, Greg. It's always it's a lot. There's a lot to being great. It's not just. There's just so many things. We'd be here all day talking about the investments. When I say that word, of what that really means.
JJ.
Jeff, what does ECU do well on defense? They look like they're a pretty stout unit there.
Yeah, they're top 15 in offense and defense in the country. So they've always flown around, been very physical on defense. their head coach was a DC, and Coach Harrell doesn't call it anymore. He's hired another DC, but they're still very physical. Like Blake likes to play, they run and hit. They take great pride in being great on defense. So, yeah, they're multiple. They do a lot of things, and historically been a great defense.
What do you remember from last year's game over there, and is there anything you could take away from that matchup and use it this year?
I was just very impressed with the program. You could just feel the crowd, how excited. I mean, the tailgate scene, really great home field. Very similar to our home field. You can just tell that our crowd is into the game and they really love our guys. That's how I felt about their place. Just what we've played them now. This will be 3 years in a row. So we played them the year before as well. So they're very physical. They run around. Very proud program. Used to winning a ton of football games and a lot of pride and tradition. Physical on defense. They snap the ball extremely fast on offense. They're top 10 in the country on offense, I believe. And make sure I'm not lying to you guys on that. I can hardly see all these lights in here right now, but I know they're really ranked high on offense. Let me see. 14th in total offense in the country, so maybe not top 10, but right almost there.
Greg.
Jeff, we saw Ahmad Chapman didn't play against Charlotte. Is that about preserving a red shirt? What goes into that kind of calculation at this time of the year?
Yes, sir.
We've seen sort of a lot of shuffling with that cornerbacks group in recent weeks, just between some injuries and a situation like that. How are you sort of managing it, and how are you feeling about that position right now?
Yeah, Nick Graham's coaching his tail off. I mean, we've had a lot of unfortunate things happen in that room, and those guys just keep stepping up. Davin got hurt. He came back. KK got hurt. We're trying to redshirt Ahmad. There's just a lot going on there. We lost Alpha. He got hurt in the Tulane game. KK got hurt in the Tulane game. We got Dangerfield back, Jacavian Rogers. That was good to get him back. He's coming off an injury, so it's just we've been shuffling out there like crazy all season long, and they keep battling. They're going to have to really battle this week because 1-9 they can really go.
JJ.
Jeff, what are your expectations for crowd size and fan support this week, and what's the message to the fans out there?
Oh, I just think we're going to need them big time. I mean, East Carolina's really good. They're trying to get to a championship game. We're trying to get to a bowl game. We've been really good at home in the past because of our fans. Sosa, our cheer, our palm. Just the Alamo Dome experience in itself, it's not the same without our crowd. So we need them to show up. We need them bad. We're going for our 6 years in a row of making a bowl. That's really hard to do. And I know everybody wants to win championships around here. No one wants to win them more than me. But it's out of the cards this year. What's left in front of us is we can still get to a bowl, and we got to try to get that done.
Anything else for Coach Traylor this morning? All right, thanks, everyone.
Thank y'all. God bless. Birds up.